Welcome guys, and today we're going to be changing out the buttons on this Xbox controller. So right now I'm trying to find my T8 security bit, and that's what we'll be using to get rid of the 5 screws in the back plate. You need to make sure it is a security. If you can't find a security T8, it's okay. You can get a small flathead and that can work too. It just does more damage to the screws than you might want. So I start off first by taking off the charging cover, and then I get a plastic prying tool. You can use this or a flathead screw, but the prying tool does a lot less damage to your plastic covers. And we're going to take one side panel off, and then we're going to move to the next. Just pry it off as best as you can. You can actually snap them off once they're pushed up a bit, like that. Perfect. And here we're going to find the 5 screws. There are 2 on each side panel, and then there's going to be 1 in the middle right behind the warranty sticker. So 1, 2, pointing at them, 3, 4, and then again 1 hidden right behind there. If you don't want to void the warranty, don't open this. So you can scrape the sticker off, but I'd be very careful doing so. Open up the sticker if you use some isopropyl alcohol with it. I'm not too worried about the warranty, so I just push through it with my T8 screwdriver and just pull it out. If you are worried about the warranty, I don't suggest doing that. Like I said, I would have a professional send it into Xbox, Microsoft themselves, and have them fix it for you. But if you're not worried, this is how we do it. So I'm going to flip it over, take off the faceplate. It comes off very easy. You can look at all the insides. There's your back plate, just falls right off as well. And there are your 2 motherboards. And we're looking at the top here with the LB and RB buttons. We're just going to take the middle piece out. You don't need to take the bumpers off. So you just kind of push up. You'll see these 2 tabs here. Push up on them. They click in, and then you can just pull it right off. Here we're gonna mess around with these 2 wires on the back of the motherboard. These connectors, they actually pop off on the back motherboard. So I like to get like a plastic prying tool or a flathead screwdriver. Just be very careful, you can break them, and just pull them off. Now here you can see the vibration rumble packs are connected by 2 wires. You got a ground and then you've got the red wire. So we're just gonna desolder those, and we're gonna take them off. And then we're also gonna have to desolder and take off the trigger wires as well. So if you're new to soldering, this is actually the easiest solder job you can do with a motherboard. These wires are very small. It takes nothing to attach and detach them. Just be very careful that you're not hitting anything else that you're not supposed to be on the board. And just getting that left trigger off, and we should be all set. Perfect. And this is very easy to do. This isn't a difficult solder job. They come off easily and they attach very easily, so don't get discouraged if you mess up. Just make sure you get enough solder on your solder gun and try again. Now that we have that done, we are actually going to get these T6 Torx screws out. It's a little bit smaller than the T8s we had in the housing of the controller, so we'll work on these. There's 2 on the back motherboard, and then there's actually going to be 6 on the front motherboard of this controller. Some controllers are set up differently. This is how this one is. So as we unscrew these, just keep in mind that you want to keep all your screws together. You don't want to mix them up with the T8s and accidentally put them in the wrong hole. You can damage the controller faceplates, you can damage the motherboard, so let's not do that. Some of these will give you a hard time coming out. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just how that you're unscrewing them and how they kind of stick in there. And right here we see the headphone jack. I'm just going to take that off and put it to the side. And there's that last screw right in the middle. We'll take that out. And just give that front motherboard a little wiggle. I like to lift it from the bottom. And here is where we get into our XYAB buttons. There is our soft pad that actually registers to the motherboard. We can take out these buttons right here. Very easy. If you wanted to give a really nice detail clean on your Xbox controller, this is the way to do it. You'd clean all the buttons, the faceplate, the back plate, everything. And here I'm putting in the new buttons that give it a better color. We're going to go for a very dark vibe for this carbon black controller. So let's place those in. They have little slots so you can't mess it up. You can't put the wrong button in the wrong spot. They all sit in perfectly. So Xbox designed that amazingly. And here we go, just replacing that front motherboard. Make sure it's flush. Look around, make sure there's no intrusions. And we will screw in the 6 T6 screws. Very monotonous, but it's kind of relaxing actually. It's very fun to assemble and disassemble these controllers. Perfect, and now time for the back motherboard. We'll just place that in there. Don't forget the headphone jack. That definitely needs to be in there first. And here we are. We have to solder these wires back to the motherboard. I think I skipped a couple on this video, I didn't mean to. But we just did the left triggers and the left vibration sensors, and we're going to do the same for the right. Oh, it looks like we already did it perfect. And now we are just going to screw in those 2 T6 screws in the back and plug in our connection wires from one motherboard to the other. Bam, here we go. Analog sticks, and we're going to swap them out with the Elite ones. I love the magnetics on them. You know, I know this isn't an Elite controller, but it still gives that controller a nice new feel. So we're going to go with those. Gives it a nice look as well. Then we're just going to put on that middle piece to the LB and RB buttons. And it kind of just snaps on in comparison to how it went off. You don't really have to play with the prongs too much. Place the control on the back plate. And the front plate goes in, and look at that, our controller is completely together. Oh, except we still have to screw in our back screws, so they're T8 screws. We'll start with the middle, and then we'll go to all these sides. And guys, if there's anything that I missed or anything that you would like to see in the next video, just let me know in the comments below. We will definitely be putting up more videos of different types of assemblies, different controllers, different button changeouts. I'm hoping to get more and more videos, at least 2 or 3 times a week. So, and those side plates, we're just gonna put those in. Another side panel right there. Snaps right on, you don't have to screw anything into those. And you just put in the charging plate, and look at that, our controller is completely ready. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think of this controller in the comments below.